Well, hey, welcome. Glad you're here, Bethlehem students. Hey, if we've never met, my name is Drew. I get the privilege of being one of our student pastors here on staff. Tonight was just a great opportunity to start a new series. If you've never been here, we like to teach in series for a specific reason. It lets us unpack different topics. It lets us talk about different things that God has going on in our lives. But it's just a funnel for us to discuss and allow you guys the opportunity to discuss as well. And so, I don't know if you know this, but yesterday we had a presidential debate. If you watched it, you don't have to say anything. No groans, this isn't a political message. But the series actually comes out of something that is foundational that some of them were arguing about. So both Trump, both Biden, they were arguing about very principle-centered things in our world and in the United States, and you can have your own opinion just like many other people do. But they were arguing about something that matters, freedom. They were arguing about just different policies, different politics. So many things you can go back. So many memes you can go to today as well. Lots of very interesting content. But the series we're going to be in for the next 4 or 5 weeks is actually coming from a reality that in November is still very true. People see coronavirus, and yes, we all have feelings and opinions about that. People see the presidential election. We all have feelings and thoughts about that. At the end of the day, most of what we think comes down to is this word about trust. Now, I don't know if you know anything about this, but I'll show you. Has anybody ever looked at the back of a $1 bill? It has this statement. You probably know this, okay? Let me show you on the back one. It says this: "In God we trust," okay? Now, if you didn't know this, in the late 1950s, one of the presidents, his name's Eisenhower. If you don't know anything about history, doesn't matter. Anyways, one of our presidents, Eisenhower, he decided to put this statement on the back of money. Here's why he did this. He believed that this should be or was the motto of our nation, the United States. Now, I don't know what United States you live in or what nation you live in, but that may or may not be true. Here's my question, though, is that in this conversation, is this going to be for all of us a philosophy, a posture, a belief that you and I have, that no matter what happens in our world, we can bank on the fact that God will show up? Now, maybe that's what you feel, maybe it's not. But I think that all of us can say this, is that in the world we constantly live in and walk through, most of us don't trust really well. And so over the next 4 weeks, we are going to do this after. We're going to talk about trust. We're going to talk about many biblical people that took steps in the relationship with God. But we're also going to talk about one of the fundamental reasons every single person in this room refuses to go all in on Jesus. And it's because of this. Not the dollar bill, trust. And so here's what I want to do. If we're going to start tonight, as we jump into this, a great thing we love to do is a couple things. We'll talk about it more in small groups tonight. Really looking forward to that. But if you like to take notes, if you like to remember things, a great way to do that, download the Bethlehem Church app. Start there. There's a student section, and in it you'll find notes for tonight. We would love for you to do that so you can remember stuff on a Thursday through next Tuesday that can actually be applied to your life. Tonight, though, here's the definition of our word trust. We like to connect. So, like, if you go to the church or you've ever been to the church where you can't talk, we want you to talk back. We want you to engage. Feel free. So let's try it. Trust. This is the definition as you'd find in a dictionary. It's what's that next word? It's a firm what? Okay. So this is what this means. Trust is about a solid belief. It's in the reliability, in the truth of something, the ability of something, or the strength of someone or something. So like when we see the statement at the back of a dollar bill and it says, "In God we trust," we trust firmly, strongly, like steadily, that we believe that it's true. Let me ask this. All right, I have a dollar bill in my pocket. Do you believe me? I have a dollar bill in my pocket I want to give to somebody. Do you believe me? Where's Jerry? Hey, Jerry, remember one time when I told you that I had money in an envelope? And I made you think that you were going to get money in an envelope? And you remember how it was a Monopoly dollar bill? Yeah, do you believe that I would do that to somebody again? Yeah, he says yes. I'm not that horrible. But Jerry, come on, man. All right, so here's what I want. What's your name right there? Yeah, come here, man. Hey, all right, I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you believe I have a dollar bill in my pocket?
Yes.
Do you believe I would give you the dollar bill in my pocket?
Yes.
Why?
Because I want it.
Because he wants it. All right? So because you want it, you think I have a dollar bill in my pocket. Yeah. Fully knowing I've gypped somebody else in here money I said I had before. Yeah. All right, so here's where I'm at. You trust me enough that I have a dollar bill in my pocket. You trust me enough that I would give it to you, right? But you don't know me.
No.
So why would I give you money? It's mine. Why would I give it to you? Because you're just trusting that I would and wouldn't bring you up. You're not, right? You're trusting that you don't even know me, but you're trusting that I would do it, right? All right, go sit down. You know what I mean? All right, so here's the tension. Here's the tension of this, all right? In God We Trust is a series that's about firm belief. But here's the thing. You don't know, and neither do I at times, what firm means until we have to believe something. Until all crazy breaks loose and we have no choice. So let me ask this, and this is worth it. What creates firm belief? What makes me believe that something that I can't see, something I don't understand, something that I can't touch, taste, whatever sense you want to throw here, what makes any of thing that we believe in real? What makes it something we can trust? So here's something that I have been asking, because it's amazing to me that, again, we don't know each other that well, but you would trust me that I would have a dollar bill, and then you trust that the potential that you may get it, right? So here's for all of us some practical examples. Any of you ever seen the wind? Yeah, can you show it to me? Can you package it, put it in show it to me? For whoever said yes, let's talk after. All right? No, you can't. See, here's the tension, and you see the effects of the wind. So girls, how annoying is this? Maybe some dudes, you did your hair, but you didn't think it was windy. You walked outside, and it just everywhere. You spent 40 minutes, and then the wind destroyed your, right? Dudes, most of us don't have that problem. Here's a good one. I can't prove that the wind exists, but I see the effects of it everywhere. Here's another one. Any of you ever and don't point anybody out. We ain't that church, all right? But does anybody know somebody that they just got some bad breath? You know what I mean? It's just bad. But here's the deal. You can't see bad breath, but you know that their mouth needs salvation. You know what I mean? You can't tell that it's bad, but y'all know, and you, literally, did somebody think of somebody? Because I just did. I just thought of that person that has that. But I can't see it, but I definitely know it's there. So let me ask this question, because this sets up the whole conversation for tonight. It's this, all right? Why is it, and this is in your notes if you take them, why is it that I can believe in the wind? Listen up. Why is it that I can believe in the wind and I trust it, but the one who created the wind I can't trust? Why is it I can believe in the wind, which I can't see, can't touch it, can't nothing, but the one who created it I can't put everything into? Why? Why is it that we can believe the thing we can't see, but the one who created the thing that we believe we can't see, we can't? So that's what we're going to talk about tonight, because if you're going to follow Jesus, here is the reality we are all dealing with. The underlying tension is that for you and me to take one step towards Jesus, you have to be willing to do what the series is about. It's trust. And in today's world, let's just take like a poll, and this isn't embarrassing, I feel like we can all say this, but who in here trusted somebody and they let you down? Raise your hand. Come on. If you ain't got your hand up, then you either don't have feelings or you ain't human. I'm just saying. Like every single one of us. So during this series, here's what we're going to do. We're going to walk through this thought of trust, and our hope is this. Our hope is to not only grow your trust, and I'm not going to put any we're not dangling the carrot like if you do our goal, our hope is that maybe you'll take a step that you're not taking. So that's it. So if you came here to hang out with your whatever reason you came, our hope is that you would just add God to your life more. And here's why. You can't get through everything that's in our world right now without something holding you up. You can't. You can't get through this season without something holding you up. And the question is what is that something? So tonight we're going to look at this. We're going to look at a guy who did something that absolutely made no sense. In the time period that he lived, the action itself doesn't make sense. Not only does it not make sense, what God asked him to do makes zero sense. And then we're going to explain it a little more literally. If you don't know anything about the Bible, or if you just don't read it, or maybe you're just this is the first time, in the Bible it goes, Genesis is book number 1. Like literally you flip it open, there's a bunch of intro, all that stuff. Genesis is number 1. That's where we're going to be tonight in Genesis. And we're going to look at a guy by the name of Noah. Now, if you know nothing about Noah, here's why we're talking about Noah tonight. Noah lived to be about 900 years old. He had a bunch of kids. But God asked him to do something that makes absolutely no sense. Like he asked him to do something that makes absolutely no sense in his life. And so here's what we're going to look at. Genesis 6, 9. Let's put it up and let's start talking about Noah. Noah was a righteous man. He was, what's that word after man? There's a comma. What's it say? Blameless. He was blameless. Good job, front row. This side, let's try it. What's the word? Blameless. There we go. What's this side? What we got? Blameless. Did somebody just put touchdown arms up? I don't know what that meant, but sure. Noah was a righteous man. He was blameless among the people of his time. He walked faithfully with God. But then this happens. So Noah's faithful. Noah's doing Noah. Noah's following Jesus. But then here's the tension we all face. All of a sudden, God asked Noah to do something that makes absolutely no sense. It's not tangible. It's not something I understand. He asked him to do this, is what he asked him. Genesis 6, 14 to 17 is the reason we know about Noah. He says this to him. He says, so make yourself what's that word? If you don't know what that is, I'll explain it. It's a really, really big boat. Like a really big boat. So like Noah, who has no ability to build a boat, all of a sudden God asks him to build a boat. He said he wants him to build it out of cypress wood. He wants him to make rooms in it, coat it with pitch inside and out. He said, this is how you do it, though. He even gives them instructions. He's like, Noah, I know you've never built a boat before, so here's the IKEA, how to, all right? The ark is to be 300 cubits long. If you don't know what that means, it's like football fields, multiple football fields long, 50 cubits wide and 30 cubits high. It's big. Make a roof. Leave room below the roof for an opening of 1 cubit high all around. Keep going. He continues. He says this. God's given him a plan for all that is. Put a door in the side of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks. So if you think about it like a baseball stadium, it's like you got the ground floor, you got the middle, and then you got all the way up. 3 decks. I'm going to bring flood waters on earth. Now, here's the weird part. This is where everybody in this room, raise your hand if you've seen rain. Yeah, we're that church. So if you're like, I don't want to raise my hand. Look, we're that church. Just it's fine. All right? So Noah says, hey, God's like, hey, we're going to bring a flood. And Noah, here's up to this point, Noah's never even seen a drop of rain. Noah's actually never seen a big pool of water fall from skies. It's never happened before. And he says this, I'm going to put floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens. Every creature that has the breath of life in it, everything on earth will perish. Now let's recap. Noah, not a builder. Noah doesn't have tools. Noah doesn't do any of what God is asking him to do. And if you're on your phone for a completely different reason right now, or if you're in a side conversation with somebody else, this is the moment you need to tune in. Because God has asked you, has challenged you, has pushed in on you at times to do something that makes no sense to you. And the tension we all face is, do I say yes to it, or do I refuse and do it my way? So this whole series, In God We Trust, is built on this thought. Because Noah gets up and he takes a 2x4 and he just starts building this boat for a flood that was never supposed to happen, and around people who said, we've never even seen rain. What are you doing, you crazy hillbilly? Like, what are you doing? It makes no sense. So let me give you an example that would make sense today. All right. What if I said this to you? What if I said, hey, I think the world may end. I think an asteroid may fall and just all of us. I think what we should do is we should make something that looks like this. Let's make a spaceship for Jesus. And we're all gonna build it. It'll take us about a year. I've never built anything. Have you? I don't know how to, I don't know how electric stuff works. I know that this goes here and this goes there, but not quite sure what the rest happens. But let's build a spaceship for Jesus. We'll all get on it. We'll go to wherever is out there. We don't even know. We'll wing it. One day we'll stop on Mars. The other day we'll see what's on another planet. You'd be like, Drew, that doesn't make any sense. One, you don't know how to build like a table yet, a spaceship. Be like, Drew, that doesn't make any sense. You don't know how to do anything electrical. Neither do I. You'd be like, Drew, this doesn't make any sense. Did Jesus even ask you to do it? No, not me. He didn't ask me. I mean, not like Noah, but I see the concern. But let's do it. We'll go do it. Spaceship for Jesus. You'd be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So this is what happened with Noah. God tells him to do something. Noah starts to do it, and everybody else says, dude, you are crazy. Why would you trust somebody you can't see, you can't talk to, you can't literally reach out and talk? Why would you do that? And this is where Noah ends up. He just trusts. How stupid most of us would say that is. Here's a key truth for all of us. What makes no sense in one season, which may be the season we're in right now, that's the thing that will be counted as faith in another. So the thing that to you right now makes no sense, you're like, how can God use that? How can God do this? That's painful, that's not productive. I have lost, that's not positive. How can you use any of those situations? What makes no sense in one season will be counted as faith in another. But here's poor man's definition of faith. It's this: trusting in something you can't prove explicitly. Trusting in something you cannot prove explicitly. See, too many people in this day believe what we can prove, but we have to have beyond a doubt. So maybe this is where you are. I have a relationship with God. I go to church, but I'm 72% sure he's real. So so he wants me to connect with him, but I can't see him. How dumb is that? Or he wants me to pray, but who am I talking to? It's just me in a car. There are things that we do, and we say that doesn't make sense. But maybe that's God trying to push you to do something that you don't understand to get to where he wants you to be. Here's where our brain, we want proof. Here's where us comes into play. Our problem is this. My problem, your problem. It's in your notes. What happens is that the facts we want erode the faith that we need. So here's what happened to you. You wanted God to show up, he didn't, and it split your trust. Well, but God, if you loved me, you'd have done it. If you cared about me, you would have handled it. If you really did, if you really care about me, you would have made that happen. But you didn't make it happen, so therefore, how can I trust somebody that doesn't have my best interest? And here's where all of us go wrong. You and I need proof before we can be all in. But that's not trust. Proof is not trust. So I want to do something. Our friend, come on over here. I want to bring somebody up here. Do you want to tell everybody your name? Everybody, this is Jake. Hi, Jake. Yeah, we can do it. All right, Jake, I got a question for you. All right, come over here. What are these? Very good. You get A+. Great job. All right, these are chairs. Now, I'm going to ask a question. It's a no-brainer question. I've already told Jake that it's a no-brainer question. Jake, based on looking at these chairs, which one do you trust to sit in? Which one? Point at it. That one. You trust that one. Why do you trust that one? Because I've sat in it, because it's one of those. Yep. What else? It's stable. It can support me. It's bigger. It's stable. All the above. Now, why don't you want to sit in the small one? Because it's probably going to break. Because, I don't know, maybe it break. All right, so this is the tension we had. That you got the big chair, you got the small chair. What chair, like I would, if I was picking, I know this one holds my weight. See, it works. How do I know that? Because I sit in the chairs you're sitting in. I know this chair supports me. I don't know if that chair supports me. It supports my 3-year-old, but which is where I stole it from, don't tell her. But I don't know if it supports my weight, because the last time I sat in it, it didn't, and then we had to buy a new set, so I don't know. But let me ask this. All right, if knowing that this is it, what if I told you, though, the green one could support your weight? Would you sit? If I said, it's like a 50-50, but I promise it's like the dollar bill. Hey, I got a dollar bill in my pocket. I'll give it to you. Trust me. Yeah? What if I told you it could support your weight, though? Would you sit in it? No, he says. He says no. Why not? Because you sat in that one, so you know? Because you sit in these ones, and you know. So, in life, this is what we do. But I know the result of that chair. So I know I can sit in that chair. So when life gets hard, I can put my weight on this chair because I've already put my weight on this chair. But Jake says, I don't want to put my weight on this, which I don't know if I want to put my weight on that chair because I'm not sure. I don't know. Here's the problem. If you don't intellectually in your head agree and put your weight on something, you don't have trust in it. If you can't say, I can do it and I know it will be okay, you don't trust something. See, this is where most of us get this tension of a relationship with God with. So let me ask this now. So you would sit in that chair. I would sit in this chair. But here's my tension. What if God says, but my will is this chair for your life? So what if this is what you're comfortable with, but God says, but this is my plan? So this is the chair you want to be in, but this is the chair I'm going to have you in. Then what do you do? So what if God says, Jake, that's what you want, but this is my plan? Do you change your mind? Or do you sit in what you know? That hesitation, and Jake's just I don't know what to say. That's the same hesitation we all have. So that's what I'm comfortable with, but that one is what I know. I don't know what to do with that. See, here's the tension that all of us run into. Do you know what makes me trust this chair? I knew who built it. I know who designed it. We've got thousands of them literally across the campus. I know it can hold my weight because they all hold my weight. Do you know why we don't sit in this one? Because I don't know who built it. I don't know what the poundage is. I don't know what I can do. I don't know anything about this chair. All I know is God said to sit in it, but I don't know why. I've never seen a drop of rain either. I can't build a boat. Why would I need a boat? We've never seen one storm ever. Why would I need to build a boat? Why would Jake need to sit in the green chair? Why? I can't tangibly see it. I can't tangibly hear you. Why would I do something that I feel like you put in my head and my mind, but I want to put my weight in this one because I can trust this one? I love it. He's like, I dare you sit in the green chair. It's going to break. So let me ask you this. If I tell you the green chair will hold your weight, would you sit in it? I promise it'll hold you. For real. If you sit in the green chair, I promise you. Yep. I promise you it'll hold your weight. Dear Lord Jesus, no liability waiver. Yeah, there it is. All right, so let's connect the dot. Jake, thanks. I appreciate it. Give it up for Jake. So here's the difference. Lock in, we're almost done. This chair I'm sitting in, this doesn't take trust. This doesn't take any trust. I've already sat in it before. For a lot of you, you're like, coming to church doesn't take trust. I've done it since I was 3. But you know what? There's somebody in this room that's not something they did until literally last week. For some of you, you're like, but this, I've done this. I've been leading something all my life. This is comfortable for me. I've been in the student ministry for 11. I'm comfortable here. But what if God says, but this is my will for you? What do you do? So like, here's what all of us do is what Jake did. I said, Jake, I promise it'll hold your weight. I promise it won't break. I promise you stay up. And you know what Jake said? For real? Right? For real? You promise? I already said, I promise you can sit in it. I promise it'll hold your weight. I promise you'll be okay. For real? Yes. For real, Jake. I promise. Here's the tension for all of us. This is our problem. God's saying, I promise you'll be okay. I promise it'll turn out. I promise you can trust me. And you and I say, but I want to put my weight in this one. So God says, I know you want to put your weight here, but my will for your life is if you put your weight here. It didn't break. It will hold my weight. I checked, I checked the manufacturer list. You know how much weight it holds? 250. It's meant for a 3-year-old. 250. I worked out just so I could sit in this chair. 250. Now, I don't know any 250-pound 3-year-olds, but it apparently holds 250 pounds. All right, so let's close this out. You and I can't have faith without walking through the tension of trust. You and I can't have faith. You and I can't know Jesus. You and I can't build on who. You and I can't do anything if we sit in what we know. And what some of us do in faith when it comes to trusting God is like, God, I've been talking to you. I don't hear anything. God, I've been saying this to you, and you're not there. I've been trying to grasp you, shake hands, talk. You're not there. Why are you? And he's like, bro, you're literally sitting in what you're comfortable with. He's like, what do you expect? I've been trying to get you to that seat for years, and you've been sitting in what you're comfortable in. I've been trying to get you to trust me for years because my will's right there. You want to go do something amazing? It's not in the seat you want. It's in the seat you don't know you want. So like all of us find ourselves in this. But are you going to put your weight on it? Because if you're not willing to put your weight, or you're not willing to put everything that you think, believe, and trust in all you're doing is sitting in what you can control. That's not faith. I don't care what school you go to. I don't care how many times you hear the word Jesus. I don't care how many times in your house you may not. If you think control is faith, it's not. Faith is saying that I'm gonna sit in what I don't understand, what I can't see. But at the end of the day, I believe in the person who told me to sit in it, so I will. And here's my tension with all of us. It's a question, and it's a question we're gonna unpack the next 4 weeks after this. Why do you trust the chair you are literally sitting in more than you trust the person who created the chair that you're sitting in? Who do you put your weight on? See, Noah decided this. Literally, God says, Noah, I want you to trust me. So he takes a hammer. He takes whatever other tools he needed back in the day, and he just starts building something. And here's my question for all of you. We all know, because you ain't fooling anybody just like I wasn't either, and I ain't at times either. We all know we are all messy. We all know we all have issues. We all know we ain't perfect. But if you think that pretending faith is real for you, is just showing up to a building, that's not a relationship with God. That's just checking off a box. I could go to school and check off a box. I don't go to church to go to school. I go to church to connect with people and connect with what God's doing in my life. It's not the same thing. Don't you dare intertwine the both. What I'm comfortable with, what I trust, what I'm okay with. God's will, what I'm not comfortable with, what I don't trust, what I can't see. But if God tells me to do that, I'm doing that. And every single person in here, people ask me this question: how can you stay sane in a season where everybody else is in chaos? Here's how. I'm not putting my trust in this and what I already know. I'm putting my trust in this and what I don't know. And I believe that the person who is guiding this seat has plans for me that I don't understand and I can't see. And I believe the same thing that he has for you. But you can't see it, you can't grasp it, you just have to sit in it and trust. And so what we want to do is this tonight. I know we're in a season that maybe faith for you is a little weird, it's a little wonky. But we thought we would try something tonight over the next 4 weeks. Under your seat, we have something for you. If you've been wondering what it is, it's time to find out what it is. So here's the deal. Everybody's got a pen. Everybody's got a little thing, like a little block. We ain't playing Jenga, I promise. All right, everybody got it? All right, now lock this way when you got it. Come on, back in. Almost done. Back in, lock in. So here's what Noah did. Noah took 2x4s and he plastered the word trust on them, and he did it. He didn't understand it. He had never seen rain. You got to think about it. The man had never seen a drop of rain, and God says, I want you to build me a boat. So here's what I want you to do. Noah put the word trust on his, but here's what I want you to do. Part of trusting God is sometimes not just saying it. Sometimes trusting God is putting the thing that you don't trust him with. And so what I want to do is this. Every single one of us has something in our life we refuse to sit in. We refuse to give it to him. But if you do, you may actually be set free from what you're struggling with. So here's what I want to do tonight. I want to put the thing on the little piece of Jenga, but it symbolizes something. Noah put trust because he was willing to do so. What's the thing that keeps you from trusting God? What is that thing? What's the word? Is it that I've been brokenhearted? Is it the dude I dated last week? Is it you didn't show up? Is it my family doesn't represent what you are about, but they say they do? Is it my friends? Is it people who used to be my friends? Is it I have no character? Is it I doubt? Is it I just have struggle believing? Is it you don't show up when I need you most? Whatever it is, put the reason you can't trust on the plank. And then this is what I want you to do. I don't want you to take it home. I want you to put it up on the stage when we sing our last song in worship. And I want people who love you to pray over you this week. And you don't have to put your name on it. You don't have to tell anybody about it. But I want you to own the fact that you can't build trust with God if you don't declare it. There are reasons I don't trust God. Here was what my reason is. I was tired of seeing people who claimed that they were Christians unlove people who were more godly that weren't. I was sick of that. So I pushed against church, and I pushed against people, and I pushed against God because I wanted Christians to be better than what I was being. And when I didn't see it, it made me bitter. So I would write bitterness on mine. But today, I don't have bitterness because one day I decided to sit in His will, and now I just walk in that. See, when you have faith, you're willing to sit in what you don't know instead of being comfortable in what you do. So here's what I'm gonna do. I wanna pray for you. If you can't think about what to put on your block, this is a great time to think about it as we worship. But come put the block up here. And the next 4 weeks, we're gonna talk about this, and we're gonna hope, that maybe the next 4 weeks you take a step in your faith you're not willing to, and trust. But maybe today it just starts with filling out what you don't trust Him with, and starting there. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we love you. And Lord, as we get ready to worship you, I pray that everybody thinks about this reality, that there is a reason we don't trust you. It's not random. It's not absent. There's a real reason we struggle with faith. And Lord, tonight, part of us ever getting to the other side of that is just being honest that it's true. But Lord, you did so much in so many people's lives. Noah was a kook until the day the flood came, and then he was wise. Noah made no sense until the day all the animals got on the boat, and so did his family, and everybody else looked and said, I wish I had one. Noah made no sense in his faith and trust until the day it made sense. And Lord, we know that you have such a plan for everybody in the room just like that. And Lord, we're gonna ask it that as we walk through this series in God We Trust, a nation that we live in says that's the principle and center of our life. We know that ain't true, but it could be for us. And so, Lord, we ask that for so many students in the room. We ask that for us. And Lord, as people come and bring their 2x4, their Jenga piece, the connection, the parallel to it is the thing that they're going to start to deal with in this season. Lord, I pray that they're bold enough. They have enough faith just to take the step to write something and put it up on the platform so they can be prayed for. Lord, we love you. Lord, we know you work miracles. We know you do great things. And so, Lord, we're going to ask that in this moment. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Hey, everybody stand to your feet.